In this video, I want to talk about gesture drawing versus a style of drawing. I was recently asked, how do you separate the actual gesture from your own style of drawing? And the answer to this question is really simple. When it comes to a gesture drawing, it's all your style. That's actually the key in a true gesture, and in this video, I'll explain exactly what I mean. First up, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you're new to this channel, my name's Siobhan and I post videos about a dynamic and expressive approach to drawing the figure. I share tips and techniques and I share my own process, so definitely subscribe here if you love figure drawing and if you want to deepen your own figure drawing practice. In today's video, I wanted to share a few demo drawings of some 1-minute gesture drawings, as well as a couple of 2-minute drawings. And if you want to, I'll leave a link to the exact reference that I'm drawing from in the description below. So check it out in the description, pull up that link and draw along with me if you can. So this comment or this question about, what is the difference between gesture and a particular style? Someone was saying, you talk a lot about the movement of the pose or trying to capture the essence of the pose in a gesture drawing, but isn't that just your style? And where is the actual gesture? Most beginners and even people who have been drawing the figure for years don't think that they have achieved or arrived at a style of drawing. But I want to be really clear, the one thing that I've learned after years and years of this practice of figure drawing is that the way you draw now is your style. There is just one step between feeling that you don't have a style and being able to confidently recognize that how you draw now is your style. That one step can be taken or explored through the practice of gesture drawing. Simply because drawing the figure as a gesture means that you're drawing expressively and you're not drawing accurately. You focus on the expression of the pose instead of the accurate realism of the pose. So just to be clear, when you're making quick 1-minute or 2-minute drawings, you're not focusing on making a finished picture or a finished figure. It might happen that the drawing becomes something that's really powerful in and of itself, but the emphasis throughout the process is always on the idea of capturing the movement in the pose instead of trying to focus on capturing the accurate visual representation of the pose. That comes later when you have more time and you can draw a longer and more careful study of the figure. Remember that in these 1-minute or 2-minute drawings, you are drawing something other than just that 2D representation or realism within the figure. If you can think of it in that way, then you open the door to being able to explore your own natural way of drawing. And I often talk about using specific techniques to achieve the gesture, techniques like scribble drawing or continuous line drawing. These techniques are meant to lead you to an experience of drawing the figure without a set of rules or a step-by-step approach. These techniques kind of free you up to draw loose and expressively, and that in itself helps you to discover your own natural style of drawing. That loose, expressive way of drawing is really unique to you in a sense. No one else can make the exact same marks that you make. And another aspect of this practice of gesture drawing is that the way you see the movement in the pose is also something that's unique to you. It's something that nobody else sees in quite the same way. If you can make marks that match what you see in a quick 1-minute drawing, then that's the key to gesture drawing. It's really the key to making dynamic, expressive drawings, and it's ultimately the key to understanding your natural style. Now, beginners tend to not match their unique way of mark making to the movement that they see in the pose. Instead, what they might do is they'll see the gesture of the pose, but then they'll try to draw the body with simplified outlines or simplified shapes in order to draw it quickly. And this is exactly where the great disconnect is for most beginners, because you can't quite uncover your own style if you're always trying to control your line work towards a careful outline or a stylized shape like cubes and ovals. And that's because a simplified line or an oval is a universal thing. It's like a universal marker. Focusing on just trying to draw a perfect outline of the figure, you will risk drawing a figurine or cartoony version of the figure. It's like a symbolized version, really. And a symbol is the opposite of an individual voice or an individual style. Drawing with, ovals and circles and simple lines is really useful. It's a really important way to understand the complexity of the figure. And doing that is a separate and distinct exercise from what a gesture drawing is. So at a certain point, I really want you to go, beyond just breaking the figure down into these simple shapes and start exploring your own expression with the lines and marks that feel loose and expressive to you. I think this is vital for you to progress in drawing in general. And it doesn't mean that you give up aiming for accuracy or proportion. It doesn't mean anything like that. It really goes hand in hand with learning and exploring those aspects. Because once you become confident in your own expression, that can only help you to progress with things like accuracy and proportion. So I want you to ultimately really just feel connected to your own process in gesture drawing. That's all that matters, really. It doesn't matter what you call it at the end of the day. You will know yourself when you're practicing gesture, if it feels right to you, if you have expressed yourself in the drawing and said everything that you wanted to say. If you can do that, then that's your gesture drawing. That's your own style of drawing. So I really hope this video was helpful. I hope you got some good information. I hope it supports you in your practice of gesture drawing and figure drawing in general. Please let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.